My cat is dead! Get that cat out of my face! Doesn't look like Mrs. President is having such a good time. In this election, Investigator Q is thrown into a world of lying, murder, and corruption, otherwise known as politics. But he must rise above all this. Justice served in the name of Mr. Whiskers. In Investigator Q by J.J. Allen. I was assigned this case about 2 months ago. I finally know who committed this terrible crime they call murder. It's probably the most complicated case I've ever had. The twist of this trial may confuse you. What I had to do to get some of the information I got isn't some of my private work. But here, Mr. President, did you commit the crime? Are you positive you killed Mr. Whiskers? Yes, sir. I'm positive this is a good cat. But before you open that envelope, let me explain to you how I came to realize this. I started my investigation at Petco, 24th Avenue, the scene of the crime. After looking around for a while and finding a litter box for my cat, I decided to start my questioning. I started with your wife, Mrs. President, who was there when your cat was brutally murdered. Oh dear! My cat is dead! Mrs. President, please calm down! How in the way am I supposed to calm down? My cat just died! Well, can you just explain to me your reaction to Mr. Whiskers' death? Well, seeing as he died 7 minutes ago, I'm pretty upset! Understandable, understandable. So, what would you say your relationship with Mr. Whiskers was? What do you mean relationship? Well, you know, was it friendship or sexual or platonic? What? Sexual relationship with a cat? You're a madman! Just asking, Mrs. President, just asking. Until she wasn't going to be of any assistance to me anymore. So I approached the store owner. You, sir, what exactly did you see? Well, a man with that mask came in and drove the kitty. For this investigation, please do not refer to Mr. Whiskers as a kitty. He's a full-grown cat with 3 children. Have some respect. Oh, when a man came in here with a black mask and shorty kick, I mean, Mr. Whiskers, right over there. You said he was wearing a mask. How do you know he was a man? I don't know the way he walks. You're telling me you can tell the sex of a person by how they walk? Well, so tell me, am I a man? Oh, a man. A man? Oh, a man. You can tell that he wasn't going to be of any much help to me either. So I approached somebody who was there at the scene of the murder. You, ma'am, what exactly did you see? Well, this man came in and shot that cat. Which feline, ma'am? We're in a pet store. Therefore, there may be numerous cats here. The dead one. How would you describe this man in a black mask? He's wearing a black mask. Are you being sarcastic with me? I'm not being sarcastic at all, honey. Nope. I do not like your attitude. I don't like you at all. Can you just describe this man for me? He was 6'2", 6'3", big, hefty guy. You tell me the ethnicity of this man. I don't know, he's wearing all black. So he was African American. That's not what I said. I said he was wearing all black. Well, honey, that was probably his skin. He's probably naked. Wait, there's a naked cat running over. Perfect. I decided to do my investigation elsewhere. I wanted to get a little bit more background information on Mr. Whiskers. And I wanted to know just why somebody wrote him dead. I started my interrogations with Mrs. Whiskers. Now I know she's a cat. So she probably doesn't speak English. She probably speaks Spanish or Portuguese, something foreign like that. So I hired a translator to help us with our interrogation. So, sir, how many languages do you speak? About 300. Good. That's really good. Let's start this up. We are interrogating a cat? Well, do you have a problem with this? Well, not unless this cat has learned how to speak. Hey! Don't discriminate against cats who don't know how to speak English. It doesn't make them any less of a cat. Let's get back. So, Mrs. Whiskers, how many years have you and Mr. Whiskers been married? Yes, this is good. Yeah. Well, what'd she say? Nothing. Well, what was all that looking about? Well, she's a cat. Well, is she flirting with me? Because I'm probably willing to flirt back. It's all for hate, of course. Mrs. Whiskers. Good morning, Mrs. Whiskers. I'll be Simba. You be Nala. What I had to do to get some of the information I got isn't some of my private work. But alas, Mrs. Whiskers provided us with great details. One, Mr. Whiskers is a cat because he could not speak. Weeks went by, still no new leads. I began to wonder if I was ever going to find out who killed Mr. Whiskers. And then I realized I hadn't tested any evidence. So I took all the necessities and put it in my big black bag. That's what he evolved. Mr. Whiskers himself. Oh dear! I went to a place called Forensics Galore. I thought they did forensics investigations for crime scenes, but I was terribly wrong. You, sir, can you do some tests for me? Dude, what? I have right here. I have a squeaky ball. Mr. Whiskers, I just need some basic tests. Dude, you just put a dead guy on my table. That's pretty sweet. Here's the thing. If you need a humor interpretation piece, I can help you from no otherwise. You think this is funny? Do you think the president's cat being murdered and me trying to collect evidence is humorous? You are ridiculous, sir. Absolutely ridiculous. More time went by. Still, no new leads. I began to wonder, who knows animals best? Kids! Seeing as I don't have any kids of my own, I went to a local elementary school and my window was vanished. Kids! I have candy! Been deemed unfit for young audiences, and thereby for deleted. Thank you. Where was I? Oh yes. After spending 2 weeks in jail for assaulting a minor, I had time to think. Because I'm not very good at that, I hired an informant, Deep Root. He agreed to meet with me, disguised of course. I got some information for you! Oh dear, your voice is hilarious! It's an aerial vocal cord disorder! Right. This cannot get out! Nobody can know I'm giving you this information! It's very confidential! Well, Team Zone, I don't even know who you are! Good, that's very good. So I talked to the Petco owner and he said he had a tape the night that Mr. Whiskers was murdered. Why didn't I think of that? So I rushed to the Petco. Oh no, not him again. I can tell you're excited. I'm here for that tape of the night Mr. Whiskers was murdered. Oh, did he stop since you hit it this? So, did you see anything strange on this tape? Well, I did see that Mrs. President was not alone. Mr. President was with him on the night of the murder. Stop to it. That's not happened. That's not how it happened. Stop to it. He's alive, Mr. Q. He's alive. Right, I thought you would say that, Mr. President. So I brought this tape with me. Let's see that. Let's start the tape. You and Mrs. President are entering the room. You get into a heated argument. You go to your car. Now, logically, we can assume when you get to your car, you get a mask, put it on, grab some guns, and run in and shoot Mr. Whiskers. Why would I shoot him? He's my best friend. He was your best friend, Mr. President. But you got jealous of him, you see? He was spending too much time with Mrs. You got jealous of something, you see? He was spending too much time with Mrs. President. Well, now that you know, I'm gonna have to kill you. With a what, Mr. President? Usually when you kill someone, you use a weapon. Not my job, that's dictator's job. Oh, I'm gonna be killed by the president in the Oval Office with a nothing. Great work. Investigator Q, come up here. Look at the rose guy. Look at it. It's beautiful. Look at it. Come get close to the window. Get close to the window. Reach that up. Yeah!